guys, today I'm filming my makeup inventory for January of 2021. I love filming these videos even though they're a lot of work, but I love looking back at them and seeing how my collection has changed over the years. I've been filming these videos since 2015, I believe, and I will have my playlist linked up in the cards for you in case you're wanting to see how my collection has changed. And I am not going to make any disclaimers. I have a large collection and I'm okay with that. I do try to often declutter products through my chopping block updates, and I do participate in several project pans throughout the year. I will have some playlists linked up in the cards in case you're interested in seeing that. So that's the way that I try to cycle through my collection, as well as doing monthly makeup baskets to try to get use out of everything, and those different systems work really well for me. So for this video, I am going to flip the camera around and show you all of the products on the floor category by category, and instead of naming all the products that I have, I'm going to do what I did last time, which was to let you know the changes since my last update. So that would be the new things as well as the things that I've used up or decluttered. I do my updates every 6 months, and my collection does change a lot throughout just a 6-month time period. So without further ado, let's get into the video. For primer, I currently have 19. At my last update, I had 22, so my numbers have gone down in this category, which is very exciting. So since my last update, I used up a mini of the Tarte Quench Hydrating Primer and the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I also used up and repurchased the Cover FX Mattifying Primer full size. And I decluttered the Smashbox Oil and Shine Control, the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte, the Soap and Glory One Heck of a Blot, the Smashbox Vitamin Glow, and the Ofra Northern Lights Primer. And the new primers I've gotten since last time would be a couple of minis, the Urban Decay All Nighter, the Pure 4-in-1 Mattifying and Anti-Blemish, and the Hourglass Veil Mini. So I'm gonna change up my goals this time. I'm going to make them more of like where I would like to be by the end of the year instead of like an ideal number, especially for categories like primer where the number is so off. Like I really only need like 2 primers, but I would like to get my collection down to 15 by the end of the year, which means I would need to use up or declutter 4 and not bring in any new ones. But my goal for the end of the year is only 15 primers. For foundation, I currently have 11. At my last update, I also had 11, so my numbers have stayed the same in this category, but some of the products themselves have changed. So I did use up the mini Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Foundation, and I decluttered the Milani Scream Queen Foundation. And the 2 new ones I've gotten would be the NARS Soft Matte Complete Coverage and the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Foundation, the oil-free matte version. By the end of the year, I would like to get my collection down to 10. I think that is a manageable number, especially considering that most of these foundations are basically full bottles. I do want to pan the Catrice this year because it is my oldest foundation, so that's gonna be my plan, and I want to just like get use out of everything else. So my goal by the end of the year would be to get down to 10 foundations. For concealer, I currently have 7. At my last update, I had 6, and my numbers have slightly gone up in this category. I did use up the Benefit Boiing Creaseless Concealer, but I did get 2 new ones, that little mini Becca Under Eye Corrector, which I got as a free gift, and then I did purchase the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. And my goal for this category would be to get down to 5 concealers by the end of the year. It's going to be tough, but it's possible. And I'm really wanting to use up the Becca and the ColourPop. I definitely don't need all of those, but I think it's going to take me a while to get through them. So that is where I hope to be by the end of the year. For powders, I currently have 7. At my last update, I had 9. So my numbers have gone down in this category, which is great. And Since my last update, I decluttered 3 powders: the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Glow, the Besame Brightening Vanilla Under Eye Loose Powder, and the Cover FX Pressed Mineral Powder Foundation. And the new one I've gotten since last time would be the Too Faced Born This Way Loose Powder. By the end of the year, I would like to get this number down to 6. I want to use up the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin Powder. It's a great pressed powder with coverage. I just prefer loose powders in general, but I honestly love these other 6 and want to always have them in my collection. So while that's where I want to be at the end of the year, that's also actually my ideal number because I love these products so much. For cream products, I currently have 17. At my last update, I had 14, so my numbers have gone up in this category. And we've had a lot of changes here. So I did declutter the Wet n Wild Cushion Contour, and I threw out the Cover FX liquid bronzer because it smelled, and the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Blush because the texture was just very weird. The new ones I've gotten would be these 2 Glossier Cloud Paints, the Nude Stick Sweet Peach Peony, NARS Multiple in Orgasm, the Tower 28 blush, and the MAC Glow Play blush. I'm really excited I tried out so many different products throughout this past 6 months, really. But if you guys saw my cream product collection and inventory video, which I will link in the cards, I did mention that I wanted to bring my cream blush numbers down a little bit, and I already know a few that can potentially go after some further testing. So my goal number by the end of the year would be back to 14. I would like to have these 4 bronzers and then just 10 blushes. So we'll see if I can do it because there are maybe a few more I'd like to try, but we'll see if I can get my numbers down to 14 by the end of the year. For bronzer, I currently have 12. At my last update, I had 14, so my numbers have gone down in this category, which is very exciting. And since my last update, I decluttered the Maybelline City Bronzer and the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the Sunkissed shade, and I have not gotten any new ones, which is fantastic. I do have one bronzer that's in the chopping block for me, and that would be my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores bronzer. My friend Jean was obsessed with this, but I heard a lot of people who bought it in this set like I did really did not like it, and Jean had repurchased it as well, and she said the formula's changed. So I'm gonna play with that a little bit more, but it might go. But I really do want to try one of the Nabla Skin Glazing bronzers in the ombre shade. So I can see myself decluttering one, but then I already have another one I want to put in its place, which is fine because my goal for the end of the year would be to stay at just 12 bronzers. Ideally, I just need 4, 1 for each season of the year. But I really like the bronzers I have, and I can't even fathom getting my numbers down to that much. So I think it's realistic for me to have 12. That's 1 for every month of the year, and I feel fine with that. For contour, I currently have 4. At my last update, I also had 4, so my numbers have stayed the same in this category, and I still have the same 4. And I would like to still have 4 at the end of the year. I love having 1 for each season. I like the Balm for the winter, Too Faced for the spring, Blondie for the summer, and Bobbi Brown for the fall. So I am totally content, and I'm at my ideal number, which is very exciting. For blushes, I currently have 58. At my last update, I also have 58, so my numbers have stayed the same in this category, which I'm pretty happy with because blush is one of my favorite makeup products. So as you can tell, I don't have 58 blushes sitting here. So what I've done for a while now is I'm just showing you the new ones I've gotten since my last update, plus my chopping block blushes. I don't think that intro for 2021 has been posted yet, so you might be getting a little sneak peek, but all of these blushes up here are chopping block ones, and then this bottom row is just the new ones I've gotten, and I actually got all 3 of those in December, or 4 of those. So this is Buxom Mykonos, and then these are some Tarte blushes. So these are trios, but I'm counting these as 1 product each, and also because the way they're packaged, I'm counting them as blush instead of as a face palette. But you'll get more information on those chopping block blushes soon. It's so hard for me to think about decluttering blushes because I have so many I love, and really those are a lot of favorites up there, but I just don't love them as much as I used to a couple years ago, and I don't reach for them as often. So by the end of the year, I think it would be great to get down to 50. And if I do get rid of a decent amount of those chopping block blushes, I'll get there. However, I'm probably going to bring in new blushes. I just love blush so much. So if I can get down to 50, I would be really happy with that. I just am not feeling the most confident about it, but I want to still have that goal out there. For highlighters, I currently have 18. At my last update, I had 24, so my numbers have gone down in this category, which is super exciting. I have not brought in any new ones, but I did declutter several. I decluttered both shades of my Pixie Glowy Gossamer Duos, the Juvia's Place Tribe Volume 3, ColourPop Patted Down, Kat Von D Thunderstruck, and the Wander Beauty highlight. And I do have one highlighter on my wish list. The new Anastasia like iced out highlight looks so beautiful. I really want to try that one. So this number might go up by 1 by the end of the year. I don't really know what I would want to declutter. I have not used this ColourPop Cinderella one yet, but everything else I want to keep. Becca Pearl is not my favorite, but I've used so much of it. I just want to like commit to finishing it. But everything else I really enjoy and want to keep. My goal number for highlights is going to be 12. Just having one for every month of the year I think would be fantastic, but I honestly have no idea how I would get those numbers down because I really like what I have here. So that goal might not really be achievable for me, but I want to put it out there anyway. So I would like to somehow by a miracle get down to 12 by the end of the year. And for face palettes, I currently have 16. At my last update, I also had 16. So my numbers have stayed the same in this category, but there have been a lot of changes here. So I did declutter the Benefit Cheek Parade Clinique Get Cheeky, a Too Faced holiday face palette from the Gingerbread House Party 2019 set, Alamar Medium Blush Trio, the Balm Girls Getaway, and the Pixie Rach Loves palette. The new ones I've gotten would be this Pixie Highlight and Bronzer palette I got in PR, and then these 5 here, which would be the Laura Mercier Holiday 2020 Blush Palette, Jouer Champagne and Macaroon Sweet Cheeks, the Sigma Holiday Cheek Duo, and Jouer Adore Blush, as well as the Hourglass Blush Trio. By the end of the year, I would like to get this number down to 15, and I do think that's possible. The 4 on the top row are going to be in my chopping block for this year, and it's not because any of them perform poorly, it's just that I don't reach for them enough. So I don't think I can get rid of all 4 of them, but maybe 1. So we will see. But my goal by the end of the year is to go from 16 to 15. For setting sprays, I currently have 13. At my last update, I had 15. So my numbers have gone down in this category, which is very exciting. So I did use up the Too Faced Hangover RX Setting Spray, the Lancome Fix It and Forget It, and the Smashbox Primer Water. And I've brought in one new one, which would be this Derma E Hydrating Mist that I got in PR. And my goal for this category would be to get down to 10 by the end of the year. I totally think it's possible. I do have a few of these in my 2021 project pan, and as long as I don't really buy any new ones, which I have no need to, then I think that this is a totally achievable goal by the end of the year. Like I said, I currently have 13 and I want to get down to 10. Moving on to brow products. For brow wax, I still just have the one NYX Eyebrow Shaper Wax Pencil, which is Holy Grail, and I believe it's been discontinued. For brow pencil, I currently have 5. At my last update, I also had 5, so my numbers have stayed the same in this category. I used up the NYX Micro Brow Pencil, but in its place, I now have the Hourglass Arch Brow Pencil. By the end of the year, I would like to get this number down to 3. Right now, I have 4 micro pencils and then 1 thicker angled pencil, although this one has a pencil and like a brow tint pen on it. So I think it's realistic for me to get my number down to 3 by the end of the year because I do have some backups of the Benefit ones. I don't include backups in my numbers. So I think it is going to be realistic for me to get down to 3. I'm currently working on using up the Anastasia Brow Wiz. For brow pomade, I still just have the one Benefit Brow Pomade in the shade number 1, which is my favorite, the only one I need. Brow powder, I still just have the one Lorac Take a Brow Kit in the shade Blonde, which is my favorite, the only one I need. For brow gel, I currently have 5. At my last update, I had 4, so my numbers have gone up in this category. And I still had these 4 here. And the new one I got is the Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel, and I have the shade Haze. I bought this from a BoxyCharm Facebook group, and my goal would be to get down to 3 by the end of the year. I've been working on the Benefit 3D Brow Tones for forever, and it's not drying up anytime soon, so I think that's going to be realistic for me, considering these take forever to get through, would be to get down to 3 by the end of the year. For eye primer, I currently have 4. At my last update, I had 6, so my numbers have gone down in this category. I used up a mini Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion Original and the Lorac Behind the Scenes eye primer. The other 4 have stayed the same. My goal for the end of the year would be to get down to 3 eye primers. I think it's going to be tough. I don't understand how I got through so many last year. I'll have my 2020 makeup empties linked in the cards. I have no idea how I did that, and I don't want to set myself up. So if I can get down to 3, I'd be totally fine with that. I really like having a glitter primer. The Anastasia has a bit of tint, and then both of these are clear. So if I could just have a glitter, tinted, and clear, I think that would be perfect for me and a realistic goal for the end of the year. For cream shadow pots, I currently have 0. At my last update, I had 4, so my numbers have gone down in this category, which is so exciting. As you can tell, the category doesn't even exist anymore for me. So I decluttered 2 Maybelline Color Tattoos and 2 of the Lorac Luxe Diamond Cream Shadows. I did not really like the Lorac ones. The Maybelline ones were good, but I just am over cream shadow pots, and I would rather use shadow sticks. So while we can be proud that this number went down, my shadow stick number, get ready y'all, that went up. For shadow sticks, I currently have 17. At my last update, I had 15, so my numbers have gone up in this category. So there have been several changes. I did use up a mini Laura Mercier in a copper shade, and I did declutter my Pixie shadow stick and all 3 of my nude sticks. But I did get several new shades from Laura Mercier that she released this past year, and I did just get this Jouer shadow stick for Christmas. So by the end of the year, I would like to get back down to 15, and I would really like to do it by using up. I really like the shades and formulas I have here. This shade right here is in my chopping block because it's a bit of a yellow gold. I don't know if I'm gonna love that one. I haven't used it yet. So I may declutter 1, but I would really like to get my numbers down by using them up. So my goal for the end of the year is to get down to 15. For liquid shadows, I currently have 8. At my last update, I had 14. So my numbers have gone down in this category, which is very exciting. I'm super proud of the progress that I made here. So I have not gotten any new ones since my last update. I did have to throw out my full-size Stila C Siren because it had dried up. I decluttered a mini from Stila, and I decluttered 4 of the Pixie Liquid Fairy Lights. And my goal for the end of the year is just to stay at 8. I don't want to buy anymore, but I'm not in a rush to get rid of any of these. I really like these shades and formulas, and these from Urban Decay are more of glitter liners, while these are more of like liquid glitter shadows. But I'm very happy with the formula and colors I have, so I'd be totally fine if I can just stay at my current number of 8. For single shadows, I currently have 36. At my last update, I had 35, so my numbers have gone up in this category, but just by 1, which is not bad, especially considering that I brought in a lot of single shadows this year. But I did declutter several as well. So I decluttered 2 from Clinique, 1 from ColourPop, 1 from Urban Decay, 2 from MAC, 1 from Makeup Revolution, a Clinique Lid Pop, Kat Von D Lolita, Prestige, Hocus Pocus, a Dirty Little Secret shade, and a Makeup Geek pigment. So I got rid of 12, but I brought in several new ones as well. So I got the last 3 shades on my wish list from the Tarte Chrome Paint Shadow Pots, and then I did purchase 8 of the 9 Hourglass Scattered Lights eyeshadows. My goal for the end of the year would be to have only 35, which means I just need to bring my numbers down by 1. These 4 shades right here are in my chopping block for this year. I don't know if I can get rid of all of them, but if I can get rid of at least 2, I'd be happy with that, because I do still really want to get that final shade of the Hourglass Scattered Lights eyeshadows. So if I can be at 35 by the end of the year, I would be really happy with that. For ColourPop Super Shock shadows, I currently have 17. At my last update, I had 22, so my numbers have gone down in this category, which is very exciting. I did declutter several shades this past year through testing them in my Partners in Creme series. I'll have that playlist linked in the cards. And I can't remember exactly what shades I got rid of, but if you watch that playlist, you will find out. And my goal for the end of the year would be to get down to 15. There are a couple of shades on my wish list, but it depends if they restock. I don't know necessarily that I'm going to order them. But while I love what I have here, I think I could get rid of 2 shades. If I could use something up, that would be better, but between using up and decluttering, I do think it's possible for me to get my collection from 17 to 15 by the end of the year. For small palettes, I currently have 26. At my last update, I had 25, so my numbers have gone up in this category, but just by 1, which I don't think is too bad. So I did declutter 3 palettes since my last update. That would be a mini Too Faced Holiday palette from 2019, Pixie Double Tap, and a Pixie Glitter Quad. I've gotten 4 new ones since last time, so that would be this Buxom custom palette my friend Amanda sent me. Then I did get the Natasha Denona Mini Zendo Mini Star and the full-size Peak palette from BoxyCharm. By the end of the year, I would like to get this number down to 20, which I do think is going to be a little bit of a challenge. It means I have to get rid of 6 of these, but I do have several on my chopping block for this year. That would be mostly all of these here are in my chopping block, but I do have a few more mini palettes on my wish list as well. So I still think it's possible, and I want to challenge myself to get down to just my most favorite 20 small palettes by the end of the year. For large palettes, I currently have 51. At my last update, I had 50, so my numbers have gone up in this category, but just by 1, which is pretty impressive to me. So if you guys have seen my makeup inventories before, you know that I don't show you my entire palette collection. I just show you the new ones I've brought into my life since my last update. And you can see I actually have a lot of palettes here, and almost all of these came into my collection in the month of December or for Christmas. The only ones I had prior to that would be this one from Alamar and these 2 from Sigma and the Milani palette. The rest of them I got in December or for Christmas. So what I have here would be ColourPop At Forest Sight, Menage a Moi, the Star Wars Mandalorian palette, Milani Pure Passion, Persona Identity 1, Sigma Enchanted and Corday Rosa, Huda Beauty Naughty Nude, Too Faced Marielle, Amor Caliente, Alamar Spanglish, the Pat McGrath Celestial Divinity, and the Rose Decadence palette, Nabla Dreamy, and then I did also get the Morphe Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette. So I would like to get my palette collection down to 50 by the end of the year. I don't know how possible it's going to be because I'm sure I'm going to bring in a lot more palettes this year, and I hope to declutter some, but I feel like I really have gotten rid of the ones that I don't love anymore. So even though I'm just trying to go down by one, it's very possible that this collection will grow, but we'll see. For liquid liners, I currently have 7. At my last update, I had 9. So my numbers have gone down in this category. I did use up the minis from Maybelline and It Cosmetics. The rest of the ones I had are still the same. And by the end of the year, I would like to get down to 5. I definitely don't plan on buying anymore. And luckily over the past couple months, I've been wearing liquid liner a little bit more. And all of these are minis except for these 2 here. So I am really hoping that I can get through a lot of these, but I think it's definitely an achievable goal to get down to 5 by the end of the year. For pencil liners, I currently have 14. At my last update, I had 18, so my numbers have gone down in this category. I decluttered a black liner from Smashbox and Marc Jacobs, as well as 3 liners from Urban Decay and 1 from MAC. The new liner I brought in would be the shade Red Rock from ColourPop. And by the end of the year, I would just like to have 14 liners, which is where I'm at now. And I do still have 1 or 2 ColourPop liners on my wish list. They may come out with more shades this year, and that's my favorite brand and formula. And then these 2 shades right here are in my chopping block. So I'm hoping if I do bring in some new ones that I may end up getting rid of 1 or both of those so I can stay at my goal of 14 by the end of the year. For gel liners, I currently have 2. At my last update, I also had 2. I had these same 2, which are from Dose of Colors. I'm going to keep these until they dry out, and I don't plan on buying any more gel liners. So my goal for the end of the year is just to stay at this 2. And lastly, for eyes, we have mascara. I currently have 18. At my last update, I had 19. So my numbers have gone down in this category by 1, which is not bad. I really am not sure which ones I've used up and decluttered or brought into my life, except I do know that I got this one as a free gift from Ulta, and I did purchase this full-size MAC mascara. These are the 2 open ones I'm using right now, and I try to open only 2 mascaras at a time, and I will use them for 2 months. If they're minis, if they're full size, I'll use them for a little bit longer. And my goal by the end of the year is to get down to 15. I definitely think it's possible. I will use up more than 3 mascaras this year, but I am sure I will get a lot of freebies because I really hardly ever buy mascara. So if I can get down to 15, I'll be totally happy with that. Moving on to the lip category. For lip care products, I currently have 16. At my last update, I had 14. So my numbers have gone up in this category, and the products have changed a lot. So I did use up the Bite Beauty Agave Daytime Lip Balm, the Fresh Sugar Rose Lip Balm, and the Tarte Lip Quench in Nude. And I did declutter the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask in Apple Lime and the Sarah Happ Lip Scrub in the Peach scent. So 5 things left the collection, but I got a lot of newness. So these 2 Lemongrass Spa Peppermint Lip Polish and Lip Butters are new. The Primera Lip Mask is new, as well as this Buxom Big O, this Fresh Sugar Advanced Therapy, the Huda Beauty Silk Balm, and the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Lip Therapy. By the end of the year, I would like to get this down to 10. I think that's going to be a little bit of a challenge because it's possible I will bring in some new ones, especially when they're available as free gifts. I do often pick them up because I love trying out different lip care products. But I'm already panning this lip scrub this lip mask and this lip balm right here. And I've got a good head start this year, and I'm gonna put lip balms in all of my projects this year. So I do think that it is possible that I can cut this collection from 16 to 10 by the end of the year. For lip liners, I currently have 19. At my last update, I had 15, so my numbers have gone up in this category. And these 4 here are the new ones. So I have one from Lorac, Buxom, Kylie, and ColourPop. I did not get rid of any or use any up since my last update. And by the end of the year, I would like to get down to 15. I do think it's going to be a challenge because I really like the colors and the formulas that I have. I doubt that I'll be able to use one up by the end of the year. I would love that, but I don't know if that's really going to happen for me. So I might not meet this goal, but I still wanted to put a goal out there. And in general, I feel happy with having 15 lip liners. I mean, I don't really need more than 10, but I think that 15 is a achievable yet challenging goal for me. For bullet lipsticks, I currently have 25. At my last update, I had 28, so my numbers have gone down in this category, and the products themselves have changed a lot. I decluttered around 13 or 14 since my last update, and that would be some minis from Clinique, Bite Beauty, Fenty, Sephora, NARS, Smashbox, and then I decluttered some full sizes from Bare Minerals, Too Faced, Pat McGrath, and ColourPop. And for the new lipsticks I brought into my collection, that would be a few of these regular MAC lipsticks, this mini from Buxom, this Lorac, this MAC lipstick, this MAC Love Me lipstick I got from TJ Maxx, the Charlotte Tilbury, and these 2 from Milk Makeup. And my goal for the end of the year is to get down to 24. I just want to have what will fit in this organizer. These 3 here are gonna be in my chopping block, and I will be testing, of course, the other ones I have as well. I don't have any bullet lipsticks in my wish list right now, so I do think it is possible to get down to 24. I would just have to get rid of 1. For ColourPop Lippie Stix, I currently have 2. At my last update, I had 5, so my numbers have gone down in this category. I decluttered 3 shades that I've held on to for a while because I really love them, but I just don't reach for Lippie Stix too often. So I only have these 2 left, Cami and Ziggy. They're both a Matte X formula, which is my favorite. But I would like to only have 1 of these at the end of the year. I think I might end up decluttering Ziggy because I just don't reach for the shade, but I really enjoy Cami. So Ziggy's gonna go on my chopping block. And if I do get down to 1 by the end of the year, then I'm no longer gonna have this category, and whichever ones I have will just end up in my jumbo lip crayon category. For jumbo lip crayons, I currently have 8 at my last update. I also had 8, so my numbers have stayed the same in this category. But I did declutter the Tarte Matte Lip Surgeons in Bare, one of the NARS matte lip pencils, and I did get rid of a mini nude sticks in the shade Raven. So the new ones I've gotten since then would be this Laura Mercier lipstick in Vibe I got for Christmas. And then I did pull in these 2 full-size nude sticks from my chopping block pile of last year. So those have come into my collection now. So my goal by the end of the year would be to get down to 5. I am planning on panning the Sephora this year, and I really want to go through the nude sticks and see if I really love all those colors and formulas. So I do think it is possible for me to get down to 5 by the end of the year. For liquid lipsticks, I currently have 38. At my last update, I had 52, so my numbers have gone down in this category, and by a significant amount, so I do feel really proud of that. So the ones that I have decluttered since my last update would be a mini from Jeffree, Star, Stila, and Too Faced. I also decluttered a couple shades from Anastasia, all 4 of my Lime Crime, and my 2 Ofra in the old packaging. I've only brought 1 new one into my life, and that would be this Dose of Colors one in the shade Charm, which was a BoxyCharm exclusive shade. It's just so beautiful. And as far as my goal, I would like to only have 24 full-size liquid lipsticks, and I don't have a goal for the minis. I don't necessarily want to get any more minis. I'm very content with the ones that I have. And then for the full size, these 4 Anastasia ones are in my chopping block because I'm not in love with that formula. I do have one more dose of colors on my wish list, the shade Mood, and then I think I will be totally set on liquid lipsticks. I also don't think I have any of these on my wish list currently. So I do think this is an achievable goal when we're talking full-size numbers. To get down to 24, I just want to have what will fit in this one organizer. And my last category is where I really went off the rails this year, and that would be my lip gloss category. So I currently have 40. At my last update, I had 31. So my numbers have gone up a decent amount in the past 6 months, which is not great. And I did actually declutter some, believe it or not. So for what I got rid of since last time, that would be a Buxom lip topper, Jouer lip topper, NYX Creme Brulee, and the Fenty Fussy Gloss. And for the new ones that came into my life, there were several. This mini Tower 28 mini Ilia, these 2 from Maybelline. This full-size Tower 28 I got for Christmas. This full-size Pixie, this mini Buxom White Russian Sparkle. These 2 Buxom glosses I got in a set from TJ Maxx. And I did get 2 limited edition fall shades from Buxom as well. I also got this mini of the Grande Lips glosses. So yes, I brought in so many. My goal would be to get down to 30 by the end of the year. I do think that's going to be a challenge. I have to get rid of 10 glosses, and I know I have some still on my wish list. So I'm currently panning this one from Buxom. It's almost done. These 5 are in my chopping block, and I would love to use up a few more this year. The minis will definitely be the easiest. So we'll see if it's possible. I have no idea what panning is going to look like this year. So I might not hit my goal, but I'm definitely going to try my best to get down to 30. It's just hard because I have so many formulas and colors that I love. So I would have included this in my outro, except I filmed that before I actually did my numbers, but I'm very proud of myself and where I ended up this year. Usually when I do my inventories, I'm not happy with it. And especially this one at the beginning of the year when I've gotten, you know, all that makeup from Christmas, it usually bumps my numbers up, but I did pretty well. I don't feel ashamed or embarrassed about my numbers at all. So I wanted to go over some of the category totals with you. So for the categories where my number went up, there were 10. Where my number stayed the same was also 10, and where my number went down was 15. So I'm really happy about that. And for the categories where my number went up, 5 of those 10 categories only went up by 1 product, which is really good. I'm super happy with that. And I did use up a decent amount of makeup this year. I'll have that video linked up in the cards. I did declutter a lot of stuff, but I did bring in a lot of things as well. But I am really happy with my collection. As I mentioned throughout the video, I will have several things in my chopping block for 2021. So I'm hoping to continue to curate my collection to just things I love. And I'm really happy with the way I decided to do my goals this time. Instead of it being like my ultimate goal, I wanted to give myself a goal for the end of the year. That way it's something that's more achievable for me and something that I will actually work towards instead of it just being this idea. So I will do a 6-month update. Most likely I will still have the same goals for the end of the year, but it could change. We will see, but I'm very happy that I have a whole year to try to get my numbers down. So guys, that was my makeup inventory. I would love to know your category numbers in the comments down below. These are some of my favorite videos to watch ever. It's just so interesting, and it is fun to compare, to see where I'm at in comparison to where other people are at. So I would love to know your numbers. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.